Hello, and welcome to yet another TRC podcast where I'm definitely having a normal, wonderful time. This is great. So to my right, Levi Gates.
Dane, Hennon, how are you today? Looking sharp in that new Rocket Dixon.
Lovely. Yes, the Rocket Dixon. I love this thing. It's great. And to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Hey, Dane. Thanks for having me.
Now,
moments before our podcast started, Dane was accused of turning down the thermostat and consuming too much power here within the media studio.
It was a unintelligent accusation because there was no evidence to lead to suggest that I would have done such a thing.
Yeah.
I did not do such a thing. Yes, I like places that are colder, but
to state that
I did not do that.
On the record, you have been known to keep places like a cold fridge.
Yeah.
You do like that because you run hot. You run hot.
Yeah, well, big dude, run a little hotter. However, I make up for it at my own station back there. People don't know this little inside baseball. I run a fan at my desk, so
nice.
I'm good.
Yeah.
But
you keep it cool in the
apparently,
back.
thermostat was set a little low yesterday, and somebody saw that and was like, "What's up with this?" I did not set.
Let's just say your dad saw it.
Yeah.
And wanted
Nobody
to know.
mocks the manager of Discount Tire, right, Dane? Nobody does that. No, it's okay. We honestly, it's one of those funny things. I mean, I don't know if we want to jump too far into this, but I don't care about the thermostat, right? So you know how there's people that run thermostats in their home, and they're some guys are like really, like, hey, this is don't touch it, leave it, right?
I want to be comfortable.
My wife runs that entire thing. I mean, like she's got the Nest thing on her phone.
Yeah, I've got the Nest on my phone.
She sets it. I don't
after that.
I don't ever touch it. I always know that I'm comfortable in the house, but which is funny because
you have multiple sensors in your home.
I believe so. I don't know. Something like that. Okay. But all I know is that when I was in my younger 20s, to save money, right? Mm-hmm. I lived in a very inefficient home.
Right.
I
did that too.
It was, I'm talking,
bad windows,
you ran the heat,
bad door seals.
Holy smokes, it's going to be expensive. You ran the AC, holy smokes, it's going to be expensive. So it was really funny because me and my roommate, we were on the same page, right? We had one other roommate, but me and my other one were on the same page where, hey, if it's cold, grab a blanket. Yep. So we would be in the dead of winter, right? Be 30 degrees, 20 degrees outside. Inside the home would be a brisk 55.
Right. Now, I remember those.
And it would be...
My buddy, my roommate, did that. He had a poker night at the house. And I showed up one night, and they were all wearing mittens and hats. Yeah. And one of the guys goes, "Bro, I'm freezing. Like, I will pay you. I will give you $40 to just turn the heat on." Yeah. And he's like, "It's not how it works."
Yeah. Well, it's funny because that's going to cost so much more to get the house up to heat right at that point. So you have to just deal with it. And so we would be walking around this house. I kid you not, Levi. It'd be in the morning. It'd probably get down to maybe 48, 49 in the house.
Whoa,
and you would
up.
think,
what?
We didn't have blinds in the home, right? There was poor insulation in the house, and it was hardwood floors, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Below 50 inside the...
Dane,
oh, my
Dane, do you remember...
Not in the garage.
Do you remember that month where we were in the teens in February in 2017 when it was like we were in 16, 17, 18 a day, right? It was under 50 degrees inside this home. We're walking around with blankets on, right?
God.
Blake walked out because we had no blinds on our windows, right?
So you just want to keep it warm enough that the pipes don't freeze.
Honestly, I don't even think we thought about it. It was a rental. We didn't even think about it. But we would walk out to the windows, and there'd be frost on the windows on the inside. My favorite thing is he'd walk out and he could see his breath in the house, and he goes, "Do you think that maybe it's too cold in here now?" and I'm like, strong. And I'm like, Blake, I don't know, man. Do you want to wait till the sun comes out and we can actually start hitting it? Maybe turn the heater on, see if it makes a difference. And it was so funny because that's the level we were at in terms of, hey, we didn't have a ton of money. We were just, let's just make it work. And then my favorite thing was in the summertime, it would be so hot, right? We'd be like, okay, open up all the windows.
86
we would have the fans going. We would have everything going. And the hard part is when it's cold, you can still kind of at least try to warm up, right?
You can add layers.
But
when you're hot.
But when it's hot, so
you can only take off so many things.
We're just walking around just sweating. And we had a leather couch. We'd be sitting on that, like, oh, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'd put towels on our leather couch too.
And this was around the time when me and Katie first started dating, right? And so Katie came to the house and she said, "Hey, so just saying,
What's
it's
wrong
like
with you?
It's not like you probably should at least try, like your bathroom's clean, like Anthony, your toilet's spotless. There's a lot of things you're doing to impress me, but I'm telling you, the number one thing, I could care less about all those things.
Comfortable
just turn on the heat and turn on the air conditioner, right? And I can't in my head say, well, are you going to pay for this? Who's the person paying for this?
So, fun story, Carly, when we were dating, same thing. So it was, the house I lived in was an old house off Warm Springs, and the furnace was an oil furnace.
Oh, old school.
So you had to have an oil delivery to fill the underground tank in the oil furnace to get, that was how you had to get our heat.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Dane?
Sorry, I was trying to be subtle. Glenn's asked me if VMix Social is working. I'm
Looking
trying to
at
show I'm
you
using it on my
giving me a
phone.
thumbs
Now
up.
everybody knows. Okay, great.
Dane, there's no subtleness on the right.
Anyway,
side.
I just see Dane looking at me giving a thumbs up.
She's like, give me a signal. So I'm like, because it's not working on the iPad like it should be. Sorry, inside baseball.
Little technical difficulty. Sorry, guys. But point was, we had to have a delivery of oil first. That oil, the minimum delivery amount was 500 gallons of heating oil.
God. Yeah.
Heating oil at that time in the summer or winter of 2004, it would have been fall of 2004, was $87 a barrel. And a barrel was 55 gallons. Or 50 gallons. So Pat and I were like, $85, we're going to need 10 of those. Is going to be, then the delivery fee, it's going to be $1,000 to get an oil delivery.
Can't do that.
We couldn't do that. $500 each.
That.
Like,
let's get a fire going.
Yeah. So it was, I got a fire pit outside. Let's just sit outside and camp. So we built our own structure outside out of tarps around the trees and had a fire. And that's how we would warm up. And then we each had a space heater in our rooms, our bedrooms, to warm ourselves in our rooms. We'd close our doors, put the towels under the door, turn the space heaters on. You walk into the room's a nice toasty 75.
Everybody watching right now, how does this make you feel?
I also had an English bulldog that slept in my bed, so he kept me warm.
Yeah.
And sometimes Pat would take him over to his room because he's like, I need your dog because I need to warm up. But Carly, the first time she came over,
this is the weirdest way
But Carly,
to
the
start
first
a
time she came over, I was like,
podcast
you want to
ever.
go watch a movie? And she's like, sure. We go watch a movie at my place. And she's like, I can see my breath.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
This
Oh, my God.
sucks. We're going back to my place. And I'm like, all right. We go into her apartment. It's 83 degrees in her little single one-bedroom apartment. And she's
Feeling
like, I like
good.
it warm in here. I'm like,
I start gagging
I'm
when it's
from the
that.
Arctic, basically, in my house. And I go into hers, and I'm like instantly like
Shell
sweating,
shocked.
like, I don't think I could sleep here or hang out here. This is hard.
Well, the thing is I'm just one of those guys, when it comes to those type of like creature comforts, those amenities, I am so like, I just will, I just adjust to whatever situation I'm in, right?
Right, yeah.
The only thing I can't stand is being in the heat. That's one where I can't acclimate to that. But if you throw me in an ice cold house, I say, okay, this is how it is. Okay, I'll figure it out, right? And I won't ask for a blanket. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to suffer, right? Because that's just what I'll do, because I don't want to be weird or make a scene out of it. But same thing though, like very similar situation. That exact same house, my dad had come over, my Portuguese father had come over, and he had been on this binge of cooking random foods and things like that, right? And he thought it was hilarious that we kept the temperature so low in the house. He's like, I get it, save that money. He's like, right on. He's like, that's my
right.
He's like, that's my son.
My dad was the same way.
Like, that's my son. Save that money.
Thrifty boy.
And
Smart.
and
Using
so
your brain,
he's like, hey, we're gonna go barbecue. He's like, oh, I found a way to keep us warm. This guy went and got one of those old metal oil barrels, right? Brought it into my backyard. We had a
like
barrel fire, trash fire.
We had a trash fire in the back, right? And in that trash fire, we were also cooking meats, right? So basically, we would throw a bunch of charcoal down in there. We're standing there, we're nice and
This
toasty.
is not how I imagined this podcast was going to go.
Honestly, good times. But now that I'm older and I'm like, my wife runs the thermostat, and I live in a much more efficient home, I go, wow, why was I paying so much? Seriously, I'm not kidding, dude. My gas bill in that house would be upwards of $250.
Probably had a leak.
Upwards of $250 per month, which was like, that's insane. And then the electric bill in the summertime would be upwards of $350 up to $400. And you go, how is it that it just that's that
doesn't
house,
make sense,
man. This is horrible. So anyway, but I guess jumping into this by housekeeping.
Well, hold on. I got to ask now because you guys went off on such a wild tangent.
Yeah.
What is your number? What is your temperature? What is your absolute idealized
my house?
one temperature? Not what you set it at, but what is your favorite temperature
70
to be in?
70.
70?
Like 68.
We're talking Fahrenheit here, 66.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, my house, well, and now it's swapped. When we were first married, Carly was very cold. I was always very hot. I have my thyroid zapped, She has a couple kids.
It's a little different.
All of a sudden, we're opposites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is always hot. Now she always runs hot. I'm always cold.
Huh.
So I've got a heating pad now on my side of the bed that I turn on because I'm so cold and my joints are so cold all the time. So for me, I don't mind the cold, but I have to bundle up now.
I got you.
Because of my age, I think.
There. Now we've established for the first, 11 minutes of this show.
That's all right.
This is fun.
This is great.
I never know what's going to happen.
This is the podcast.
But I
we don't have
enjoy
to worry about answering questions.
We don't have to do
the
the detailing thing every time. It's a good, weird, wildly tangential.
Do you want to cover housekeeping now?
Housekeeping now.
Okay. All right.
Please.
So this week is a big week for us here at the Rag Company. We're extremely excited because the countdown to the full Stjarnaglass line begins.
Full line available.
Begins, and the line will be available this Thursday. Is going to be the launch. So if you haven't tried out the sampler, if you haven't tried out any of the products yet, now is your chance to actually be able to jump into it. And so the entire line is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, me and Levi have gone through and tested everything for over a year now, and you guys are going to love it. I mean, everything from the way the products work, the way they smell, just the general vibes, and then the surprising products within the line that hit far above their weight class is also a big thing as well. So Stjarnaglass will launch this Thursday. There will be an email blast going out. And
make sure you're signed up for the email blast. So Rag Company, go to ragcompany.com, sign up for the newsletter, put in your email. That way you're ready when it launches. We're also going to have Jack on the Q&A.
We're going to have Jack on the Q&A, and then we are having an introductory kit, right? That's going to be coming out at technically an introductory price for this particular kit. And what this is called, it's called the Four Norsemen, right? Four Norsemen. I thought that was a pretty sweet name.
Such a good
and the reason for it is Jack has what he calls his core four.
Yeah.
His 4 favorite products. We took it, put a little spin on it, put our 4 favorite products for you guys to start, and then paired it with the appropriate towels and products, hence the Four Norsemen.
Yeah. So in the Four Norsemen kit, we have Innie.
Yep.
We have Silky,
which is the interior cleaner. Silky's the quick
detailer. We have
Bubbler, the soap,
with
a wash mitt.
And then lastly, it is
Gumi or Huel wheel cleaner.
I was going to say, I don't think it was Gumi.
No, Huel wheel cleaner and some black creatures.
So basically everything you need to get started on just your basics of detailing.
The goal was we wanted you to be able to wash your car so you can wash it, clean the wheels, spray a little quick detailer with a little bit of protection, a little bit of gloss enhancing, then pop into the inside, wipe down your plastics, your leather, your vinyl, and kind of get a good feel for the brand.
And Stjarnaglass is going to be available on Amazon as well. So our shipment from us to Amazon has already happened, and it's going to continue to happen.
And
so
TOC for those Canadians, TOC placed their order as well. So they should be getting it at the same time, hopefully this week as well, and be able to launch.
I hope so,
that's the
because
hope from us.
They're killing it over there, man. Again, the TOC, I mean, Josh over there being the front man, I mean, I think everything they're creating is entertaining. I love they did a collab with Alex Dewar, and I'm pumped. I love seeing one of our distributors and one of our friends being able to really kind of push the limits in terms of social media and having the best quality products in their hands. So check out TOC if you're up in Canada. But outside of that, though, Four Norsemen kit, You're going to be able to still buy the Stekita, right? A la carte, right? Everybody's been asking about the air freshener, the gold flaked air freshener. That is, you're going to love it. I don't think I've met one person that doesn't like the smell. However, my wife is pretty sensitive to smells. My wife
doesn't like it.
And she's like, that's not my favorite. But every other person that smelled it says, okay,
she goes, why does your car smell weird? And I was like, Stekita.
It's like, weird. You mean masculine?
Yeah. She's like, I don't like it. I was like, what? I love it. I think it smells awesome in here.
Carly, what's it like to be wrong?
Yeah. She was like, oh.
But so Stekita will be available as well. But I think the biggest takeaway is
it's real 24 karat gold flake in there, folks.
It doesn't come with a Louis Vuitton bag, but I mean that would be pretty sweet, right? No. But a couple of the big takeaways. The Four Norsemen kit was basically designed for people wanting to get to know the brand well, right, and get some good products right out the gate. But Bubbler, hands down, if you're just going to buy, a soap, I think Bubbler is fantastic. Mata is going to be Levi's favorite.
Mata's a great soap because it just doesn't have any gloss. It says it's for matte finishes. Basically, it just doesn't have any protection agents or glossifiers.
Correct. It's a good pH balance.
It cleans.
It's just cleaning soap.
That's
nice soap.
Job.
Smells insane. Yeah. Smells so good.
And then if you want to get like a taste of what, really snow foam is like, right?
Real snow foam.
Real snow foam in terms of how they use it across the Atlantic over there is using it as a pre-wash. Snow is going to be your best way to jump into
scent,
that.
Really nice.
Yeah,
aerated.
And so snow is going to have some cleaning power. It's going to have a lot of lubricity. It puts on a fantastic show. The coconut smell is intoxicatingly good, but that it would be that of a true snow foam pre-wash. And then Forced, which is going back to one of the big hitters that I talked about, that hits far above its weight class. That having a pH of, I believe they said 13 on Forced. That as a pre-treatment for all
can be diluted too.
Can be it can absolutely be diluted.
Super strong.
I've never seen tires bloom the way they do once Forced hits them. You think your tires are clean, you hit them with Forced, and you go, "Oh my God, my tires are filthy." But Forced on tires, Forced on all of your lower panels, it is truly a spray-on, rinse-off, and you're left with a clean surface. It's powerful stuff. And on coated cars, it would be safe. I do recommend diluting it. And that would be a lot of fun as well to try out for your first time. But besides that, though, Parla, fantastic spray sealant, amazing water behavior. Yeah, I know it's more stuff, and I know people are like, how do I decide what to use? I say always start with the basics and see if you want to incorporate them into your washes.
Right, yeah.
Because, for example, let's just take GSF for example, right? That's replaced a lot of people's soaps in their line because they love GSF. And I'm not going to say that GSF. You're wrong there. GSF's amazing. It's an amazing soap. But if you want to try something different, Bubbler or Mata, or Snow.
Yeah.
Well, for those who want to see Snow in action, we have our most recent reel on Instagram there. You can definitely go check that out, being used on a 10th Gen's car, so that's fun.
But Huel is a really nice. I like Huel because for most iron removers, I think it smells the best.
Yes, once
out of
it's
any
sprayed.
of the others. Once you're spraying it, don't crack the bottle and take a sniff, but really aerate it, get it in the air. But it works on paint, works on wheels.
Yep.
It works wonderfully. Mm-hmm. And then I really like Gumi. I think it's just I like the consistency of it. I like the application of it. I like when it's on the tire. Mm-hmm. I'm just an old school style of dressing. I like that, putting it on an applicator, putting it on the tire.
Yeah.
I like the way that feels, but I also like the way it bonds and it lasts quite a long time.
Well, I know some of our overseas listeners and viewers have commented saying that's one of their favorites during the last couple of Q&As. It's popped up, and people are sleeping on this product. It's awesome. So.
Yeah, it's a great
now
tire.
the U.S. gets a chance.
There's a lot of good stuff. So have your questions ready for Thursday.
Yeah.
Talk to Jack if you guys have some questions. We're going to have him on the Q&A with us.
I think we're also going to be giving away some things, too.
We're also giving away, so it's going to be a fun day, everybody.
Some stuff.
And then just a reminder, we're going to be at less than a week and a half.
Oh, my gosh. It's
crazy.
that soon.
I mean, we're going to be flying over the Atlantic, our transatlantic adventure.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna be starting off our trip with us in the Netherlands, hanging out. We've got our open house May 30th at Rag Company EU. Come see us. come hang out with us. We're going to have snacks. We're going to have drinks. We're going to be just hanging out, telling stories. They'll probably have some specials going on as well. So we can, you guys can come see us, hang out, do that. Then we're going to be doing a little traveling.
Yeah.
Then we're going to be, when we land in the UK, Jack is picking us up from the airport, from Heathrow. He's going to pick us up. We're going to go hang out with Jack, spend a couple days seeing where he grew up, where he, wandered around, just doing friend stuff. We're going to eat at McDonald's, do some stuff like that.
Really wants to take us to McDonald's.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go from there. That's when we take our train. We're going to head up to Waxstock. Mm-hmm. And then we'll be at Waxstock with everybody. So you can come see us at Waxstock. Mm-hmm. Come check out Color Lock. Check out Clean and Shiny. Check out Stiarna. Check out, Dodo. All the different brands. AM Details. Mm-hmm. We're going to see Alan Medcraft there. Yeah. We're going to get to see everybody. We're excited. Hopefully you guys are.
Be there?
G-Technic's going to be there as well.
Yeah.
So we'll get to see Rob Stewart and all those guys as well. I like Waxstock. I think it's fun. I think it's a great show.
I just wish it was more than one day.
Yeah, it's too short. It feels like it goes by so fast.
So much stuff packed into one day. But what I love about it is the enthusiasm of the people who go there.
Everybody's pumped.
Are into it. Like you go to some shows and you kind of feel like, oh, some people got dragged here by a friend or they're just kind of whatever. No, everybody who goes to Waxstock is like detailing enthusiasts really to the max. You can feel it out in the parking lot when they're working on their cars. The cars out in the parking lot look better than a lot of the cars on the floor at SEMA. I'm sorry I said it. Yeah. But it's true. They really know how to take care of them and it shows. So
it is a detailing.
It is a real detailing show. Yeah, that's for sure. But that's going to be fun. And then we're also going to have Bob and Rennie with us. So Bob Phillips of PNS and Rennie Doyle are going to be at Waxstock with us. So those of you that are going to be at Waxstock and you want to meet Rennie and Bob, they're going to be there with us. So come say hi. And then we're going to be going on our London adventure after that. And super excited. So we can't wait. Please come see us, everybody overseas. That's about it.
All right.
Cool.
Well, before we start, I did have one question here from Jeff that I thought was a nice way to kind of get into things. I'll pop it up there.
Obviously, this is something better asked in the group Q&A, but I'd be interested to hear thoughts from the dads on how they balance family time with garage time. As either a DIYer or weekend warrior, I work a lot of hours during the week, and with my son in daycare now, I barely see him awake since he is tired by the end of the day. I have stuff I need to do on the weekend, but I feel guilty. So, as the elder father in the room, I would say, Jeff, the hard part for me is I tried to make as much time for my kids as I could. With my first child, with Hadley, it was hard, and that's the reason I took this job, because I wasn't working 60 to 100 hours a week anymore. I was able to work 40.
It was beating you up.
Well, no, I wasn't actively working. When I had my business, I was there 60 to 100 hours a week. Kind of like you. When you're here after hours, if you guys had a child at home and you were still working your schedule, and you didn't see you'd come home and it'd be 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, back when you would stay late.
But in the sense of it not beating you up, I'm talking about like the actual physical toll it takes in addition to
that was also a part. But the biggest thing was the fact that I had two children now.
Yeah.
And my first child only ever saw me on the weekends because I was working so much trying to run this business.
Yeah.
So when Augie was born and now I had two and the physical toll, that was, for me, it was like, okay, you have to be doing this. Well, I was 5 years into that by then. Hadley was 5 years old. Augie was 2 when I came over here. So for the first 5 years, I didn't have that work-life balance that you speak of, Jeff, that you're looking for. I didn't have it either. So I had a honey-do list that I had to work on. I didn't have my own things. Like I didn't have the MOSHQ, so to speak. I didn't have, my business was my business, and that was just how it was. It wasn't until Augie hit about 3 and got diagnosed that it forced a change in that I had to do some things.
Be more hands-on,
Well, I had to figure it out, okay, I need to be here for my kids in the evenings when I come home, meaning I don't have time to do anything. Anything that's for me, I have to do it after they go to bed.
Yeah.
So that's the main key. The second key on the weekends, I still try to do cars to help pay the bills in our house. Mm-hmm. But I need to have time also to be able to spend it with my kids. So if I need to run an errand.
At times as well.
And sometimes I have to involve them. And Dane, you came over this weekend. Yeah. That's a typical Friday night. I'm not really doing anything in the garage.
You're just
kind of hanging around. I'm just kind of putzing around, hanging out.
All the pets and the kids follow.
But the kids are outside. The neighbor kids are outside. They're just kind of playing.
Yeah.
And if that's me being present, I'm not accomplishing anything. I'm not actively playing a game with Augie. I'm not actively working on a car, cleaning my garage or anything.
You're not
kind of doing a mishmash.
Accomplishing a goal, but you are accomplishing the whole be a dad, be present thing. So I think you're doing that, and that's good. Because
I'm trying.
You could clearly see everybody there was having fun. Nobody was getting hurt as long as I was there that I saw. Although I saw a few opportunities where things got a little sketch. Yeah. We'll talk about that.
But that...
Yeah.
It's only now that my kids are old enough and they're remembering and they're asking questions.
Yeah, they're not remembering much before like age 4. So.
Right. That's the hardest part is like I want to be with them and I want to the problem was I never captured enough of the time. I go through my phone and I look at my wife's phone comparatively. She's got pictures, videos of our kids as babies. I don't really have that. Everything I have, she gave me. So I only have pictures of my kids when they're like 3, 4, 5, like when I became more active to be able to do stuff with them. And that was the hard part. If I could go back and I could work less hours, I would do that. But I also was trying to support our entire family on that one business. And it was difficult.
Oh, of course.
So there isn't a right, and especially, Jeff, for you now, like with the age that your child's at, it's going to be hard. Yeah. I told Anthony this. Try and find things to do. You're going to find new hobbies that you can do with them. Yeah. Like the cruiser bike. Going on bike rides with her.
Yeah.
Like just putting her in her basket and going for a bike ride. Or putting her in a baby Bjorn and going cruising at the junkyard. Like that sounds like that's about all you can do. I'm just saying, like, you're kind of stuck, Anthony.
Hope she got a tetanus shot.
Take it from there.
How old is Jeff's baby?
Probably about the same age as Lucy, probably a little older, maybe a year now.
Maybe a year. Yeah, I can't remember. Jeff will have to chime in. For, I guess, balance-wise, Lucy's not in daycare yet, so Katie still watches her. Like, she watches her 3 days of the... She watches her... I mean, for the most part, we have parents helping out about 3 to 4 days a week. Then Katie takes a couple days off, or she goes to school days off during the week. It's part of her schedule because she's working... like 3 9-hour shifts or something like that, right? Yeah. So she's trying to get above her 30-hour mark, but and then we have weekends off. But I would say that by the time I get home, she's wide awake. She typically will sleep a couple big naps during the day, but I get home, I usually hang out for about 2 hours with her and the family, hang out, play. Eat whatever we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then after about 2 hours, I usually pass her off to Katie and I go and do whatever the heck I need to do for about an hour and a half.
And that could be grocery store. That could be...
Yeah, like I try to fit what I can in the hour. Sometimes I'm just, like, I'll get home, I'll pick her up and be like, my back hurts, but I'm just going to work through it, right? And then by the time I pass her off, I'm like, I think I just need to, like, lay on a bed and not think about anything for a minute and just play on my phone or watch a show or something.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll do that for a little bit of time. Or if I'm feeling active, I'll go out and try to attempt something. The hardest part is, like I said, being a DIYer or being somebody that's into detailing stuff. I know that an hour might not be enough time for me to maybe knock out everything I need, right? So I do what I can in that time, and then I usually help Katie with her, get her ready for bed after about another, another hour and a half or so, and then they'll usually try to put her down and get ready for bed, and then that's now is my time from like 9:30, 10 to about 1 o'clock in the morning. I can really do, try to do whatever I want, and that's just because I'm choosing not to sleep. I mean, if I want to sleep,
there are other people
that
do it the opposite. They go to bed at 9:30 and they get up at 4. 30, and they use that morning as their like.
No, I'm
not one of those people.
I don't understand.
I'm high functioning from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. I'm all with it, 100%.
Yeah, me too.
Then it falls off a cliff.
So then it falls off a cliff, yeah. So basically, I just try to do everything. So I might go to the grocery store at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Nobody's there, and that's my time to do that. But I do find it is hard just to be able to, break away for several hours and be able to knock out a big project. And so like this weekend, I had a big project, and I had to really time it, and I had to plan ahead that I was going to be doing something that was going to take me most of the day.
I think that's the biggest thing is planning that stuff.
My cars are... my wash consistency of the cars are about half of what it once was. I'm not just going out and washing for fun. I'm just like, okay, wash this as fast as you can, get it nice and cleaned up. Right. O&R wash, do whatever I need to do. But it kind of loses that therapeutic aspect of being able to go out and be able to do that for a period of time. And it could just because of the age. Maybe once she's a little bit older, maybe 2, 3, and she's out walking around, hanging out, she could be keeping herself busy. Yeah, she can keep herself busy and go do whatever while I'm doing that, and it could totally be fine. It's just, age-wise, you're just kind of have to...
kind of stuck there, man, for a little bit.
Right now, what you guys are describing and what he's experiencing is like it's a zero-sum game. The time you spend somewhere can't be replicated anywhere else without exchanging it for something.
For you guys, I used to weld on the weekends.
Yeah.
I work at George's and I weld on the weekends. So I'd build bikes for George's cycles and do bike mechanics. And then I would go in the evenings and weekends, I'd work at my dad's shop welding up furniture and custom stuff that I like doing. I haven't welded until I started my welding project on my bumper this year. That's 10 years, 11 years. Hadley's 11 years old. So I had to give up a hobby for close to 11 years just because the amount of time to go to my dad's shop, to take the time to go do that, it just wasn't available. And when you have one kid, here's the thing. You get to that point when you have the first kid and they're 2 or 3, and you're like, yeah, they're mobile and they can do stuff and they can play and I can like put them in front of something or they can like set them somewhere. And then you guys have the second. Mm-hmm. And the second one happens at that 3 years old, 3 to 4, sometimes 2, 3, 4. Now all of a sudden you're right back into it again. Your timeline starts back over.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, dang it. Like I love this new kid. It's fun, but okay, I guess I'm stuck again. Yeah. Like you don't have the freedom. Mine two are awesome right now because they get to do a lot of stuff. Like my problem now is I'm trying to keep them from watching too much TV and telling them to turn the TV off, turn the computer off, get off the, I'm glad I don't have any gaming consoles.
Yeah.
Like, because they're at that age now where they're getting addicted to that stuff. And so I'm like, come back outside. Hey, let's go come hang out in the garage with
you're
me.
Preventing them from future livelihood as an esports, athlete.
Trying, man.
Yeah. Anyway. No, I think that right now I'm pretty good at the amount of time I spend with the baby. Like I said, if it's 2 to 3 hours each day where I'm present, and there, that's pretty good. And then over the weekends, like if Katie's like, hey, I'm going out for like 6 or 7 hours and she goes and does a bunch of stuff, the end of that 7th hour, I'm like, okay, I need a break now. Now I've had too much time. I'm like, my back hurts. I'm like, I've done all the entertaining I can do. And I need to try to find the energy now to do what else I can. So I'm doing a pretty good job. But I think, it's just a matter of also taking photos and videos. I try to take as much as I can for myself, right? Yeah. And Katie will be like, she'll see me looking at a video or photo. She's like, wait, when was that taken? I'm like, I took it today. She's like, can you send that to me? I'm like, take your own photos. Like, these are mine. These are my cute photos, right? And so, but I think I do a pretty good job. But anyway, so let's jump into some weekends.
All right.
Who wants to? I think you guys' weekends are kind of...
It's a little interconnected, but what about you?
Kind of connected. Okay, I'll start off. For the first
Anthony
time.
Here?
Okay. All right,
start us off.
Friday night, I have found that. Remember last year I was talking to you guys about I had a bird nest that formed in my porch area.
Yeah, you sprayed it with a garden hose.
And I had to clean it all off. Right, I had to clean up all the bird poop from all the crap that just crapped on everything I love. Right, and
there were no
front
birds
porch.
in it when you.
No, and this was last year, but I was like, okay, you know what? It was pretty cool to see raise some birds. I don't think they'll come back again.
Yeah.
Well, turns out swallows typically know even after they migrate.
I love the spot. They're like,
they
we had that great camping site.
Remember. So I have the birds that are back. The swallows have returned to my front porch. And I saw them on, I think, Friday morning. I saw them hanging out there. I'm like, I don't think they're not going to do it again, right? Sure enough,
they built a nest.
In the exact same spot, they have begun.
Wow.
They have started patching their mud, right, on above my front door.
Yep.
And Friday was tough because I was thinking, I'm like, man, do I stop them now, right? Do I go and pressure wash it off, get rid of their mud, put up some spikes, do something like that? Because, I mean, they really did. They pooped on everything. It was really cool to see the babies, growing up there, because like one of my favorite memories is walking into my house and I look up and there's an entire row of little baby birds looking down at me like, who's this guy? And I'm like, what the heck?
I live here.
So,
we do too.
Yeah, this is our house. So I really was contemplating. I asked Kate, like, what should I do? Should I take it down? She's like, no, I think you should leave it up. And I'm like, if I leave it up, it's more work. And what if they keep returning? And they had already started in on it. So by Friday night, I had watched them. I was like, dude, I don't have it in me. I love animals. But I have that inside me that says they've already started. And imagine if I started a project and somebody just came and just completely ruined
Shot it
it.
with a hose.
Mm-hmm. Shot it with a hose. And so, yes, I will now be having another bird's nest above my door.
Next year, capable to build a platform for them to build
on.
on.
You should actually construct something.
Build an area. This does two things.
Takes them away from the spot you don't want them.
Perhaps you can build some sort of bed. This could be like your RV life,
Yeah.
but for the swallows. You could construct a platform.
A mailbox that they can fly into.
And you could be like, fly into here. I've already set it up so you can actually poop in this back spot.
Yeah, just
has a spout. It's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to drop down onto the ground.
Yeah.
I can hose that off. I don't have any problems with it.
Manageable.
It could be a new project.
You could make it much more aesthetic that way too.
You could.
Like then it appeals to your sensibilities.
Yeah.
Because think about my parents with the bees. That's what's happening to you with these birds now. You're basically just at that point where they're going to become a part of that household. Whether you want them there or not, you just over time start to go, yeah, they've always been here.
Wow, I just don't have the heart to take down something that they've already started, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe next year I can put up a spike strip or do something like that.
Or build a nice new RV.
Or try to move them somewhere else. I don't know. It's just Katie's like, it's good luck, right? To have birds, right?
Yeah.
And I walked down the row of houses. No other house has a bird's nest, right?
Yeah,
so I'm either really unlucky or really lucky, depending on how you look at it. And so
cover and safety.
But it's cool because they make all the bird chirping sounds. It's very lively in my front yard, and I'm just gonna let it happen. So they've started in on their project. I'll keep you guys updated on how crazy this nest gets, because last year I was pulling like tissue paper, I was pulling like plastic wrappers out of there. There was
whatever they could
there's a
get.
bubble gum wrapper in there. They use everything to create this thing, and it's a pretty well constructed nest. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
like it.
So I had that going Friday night. Other than that, though, I want to say, going back through my phone, I have to take pictures of usually my day because I usually forget.
How he remembers everything.
Okay, so what happened is there was Thursday and then there was Friday. Got it. Okay. So I ended up getting, a couple different things. I got a bunch of bikes for free.
Yeah.
Right. I told Levi this. I think I talked about this on Thursday.
You didn't talk about it on Thursday, I don't think.
Katie's helping clean out her dad's rental houses, and it's a bunch of college kids that rent these houses right near the campus. They always leave behind their bicycles. Always.
They forget.
They either forget them or they leave them behind because they don't want to deal with them. Because some of these kids that live here don't live in Idaho.
Yeah, chain broke or tires are flat or whatever.
Or it's just kids from other states that say,
so
I'm gonna
flying home and they're like, I can't take that.
Well, they just say, I'll buy a bike once I get there. I'll ride it and I'll give it away and then I'll move back home. Right? Not a big deal. So there's always bikes left behind. The
last time you had some nice ones and you were like, this is some good bikes.
Last year.
And then the kids called and said, we want our bikes back. And it was like,
there was a stunt jumper, right? And outside that had like full suspension stunt jumper. It was like a $2,000 bicycle. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. If they leave this behind, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And literally within the last hour of which everything would be towed or thrown away, the girl comes back crying, I need my bike. I'm like, dang it. Dang it.
So close.
Gave her back her bike. I'm like, I wish I would have just taken it and gone. And
Jeez.
couldn't get a hold of me. But so Thursday, Katie brought home 4 bicycles. And keep in mind, these bikes aren't particularly nice, but they're okay. Yeah. These ones were 4 cruisers.
Yep.
I don't want 4 cruisers. And I asked Katie, why couldn't you have picked 2? She says, well, I didn't know which ones are good, so I took them all.
Right.
So Katie's dad brings my truck back to me with 4 cruisers in them. I pull them all out. I think there was a Schwinn. There was a Kent 2600, right? Yeah. Cruiser, I think from Walmart. And then there was a couple other, other cruisers, probably cheaper cruisers. Yeah. And cleaned them up, looked at them. Text Levi or text the group chat up for work, and Levi's like, dude, that one cruiser could be made pretty nice. And I'm like, I'm not into cruisers. And he's like, let's bring it in. So I brought it in, we cleaned it up, and here's it next to the BMW, which the color scheme,
how similar.
The color scheme is pretty cool.
We can make it look like your motorcycle.
It's got this
There's
gray
a lot of
and
cool
tan.
stuff we could do.
Throw a BMW badge on it. So I don't know what my plan is. Like, this is like a $200 bike, right? But I got it for free. Good. So my starting point's pretty cheap. But I'm thinking, if I would do white walls on it, do knobbier tires on it, make an off-road scrambler style cruiser.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Throw a drink holder on there. All I know is that yesterday I was chewing sunflower seeds, cruising around on my cruiser. I was having a good time.
Right. It's perfect bike for that.
I was enjoying it, and I never understood the draw to cruisers, but now I kind of
seems like that'd be a pretty rough ride off-road, seeing that it doesn't really have any kind of shocks or anything.
Yeah, probably. But I like that it's just a laid-back style of riding.
Yeah.
Because, like, in me, I see the full suspension bikes. I go, wow, that's the cool bike. That's what you want, right? Well, this is
This is the neighborhood bike to go ride to go get coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Go
you
cruise.
could do that. You could put 2 cup holders on it. You can go, Katie, I'm going to go get us some coffee.
Yeah.
Ride down to Bright Eyes on the bike, park it, get your coffee, set them in the cup holders, and just ride back.
I haven't even thought about that.
And then
that
like,
is a
hey,
great
idea. Coffee, here you go.
What if a basket for my breakfast burritos?
Yeah, yep. Basket for the breakfast
Dang
burritos.
it. That's a great
Just
idea.
gonna cruise on the bike. It's a bit of exercise.
Yeah.
It's not much because it's not that far, but it's a nice little quick jaunt just for fun.
And because, there we go, 4.5 months. Yeah, Jess, you're right under me. That's a time, 6 months is when she started getting really fun.
Yeah.
6 months is when things started getting a lot even easier, I would say. More fun. I don't know.
It's hard, too, because they sleep a lot, Jeff, for those first 3 months. So you kind of feel like you're just kind of watching a baby sleep.
Yeah.
And you feel like, I should be doing stuff. It's a hard transition. But don't worry, you'll get it. But anyway, so the cruiser bike, I think, could be pretty rad. And I think you could build up that yellow one for Katie. The yellow cruiser. You could build that up to be a really pretty bike when you're done with it. It's
so faded, though. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to polish it out. Like that.
How hard is it to paint a tube frame chassis, though? I mean,
it's not hard. You could paint it. You could rattle can. You could. We could take all those things
2K
apart.
clear.
We could take that whole thing apart.
Gloss it out. Yeah.
And I mean, we could paint it. You could paint it in your backyard, and then we could put everything back together.
Make it look beautiful. So I might have to do that. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, so I acquired some bikes. I need to get rid of 2 of them. If I'm going to keep, I'm not going to keep all 4. That's ridiculous. I need to get rid of 2 of them. So
a couple of them were pretty small.
It's like either A, give them away for free, or B, bring them to the rad company and say, hey, these are the rad company loaner bikes. You can borrow one, take it to the Euro Shack, take it to go get a fruit bowl.
We have that bike rack.
We put baskets on them, and it's just an employee bike rack.
We could do that. That's a good benefit.
But
nice. It's something to help benefit the company.
Benefits the rad company. It does. So anyway, so that was that. And then Friday, I also picked up all of my parts. So Dane helped me go down from the painter I found here locally in Boise that was able to shoot my body kit for the Honda CRZ.
I was very excited to learn about this guy.
Now, I waited. I got this kit.
Did you grab a sandwich while you were there?
No,
but should have. Really should have. Right next door.
But next to the Great Harvest, Levi's family business. But I picked up that kit, 3 months ago? 2 months ago? 3 months ago?
3 months ago.
And since then, I've been on the lookout for a painter. Now, unlike the White Civic, I didn't have time or space to rattle can this body kit that I'm throwing on there. I needed to find something that could paint it. It's just now, because we're still kind of in that, we're still in the pandemic. Prices are still high for bodywork stuff. People are still booked out. And even cost of clearing, cost of materials has gone up. So most of the quotes I was getting for this kit was like $1,300 to $1,600, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, this is
But that's
expensive.
not out of the ordinary. That's about what you would expect for that many parts and that much time it would take and all that. I mean, it's not totally out of line of what most people could expect to find.
That's true. And so I ended up getting a referral from Greg over at Discount Tire, who referred me to this guy named Dave, who is at Auto Express, which is right next to the Great Harvest, over off of Fairview and Curtis, and he booked me. I think I had to wait 2 months to get in with him, but I dropped off the parts to him. He shot everything in 2 days, went and picked them up, and holy crap, man, he killed it. Like the parts, the color match was fantastic. I think a couple dust specks in the clear and things like that. But I asked him, I said, did you finish this out? Did you compound or anything? He's like, no, that's just out of the gun. And I'm like, amazing, right? That's
because that color, that's not an easy color.
Yeah. So, and he shot, I don't know if pricing, I don't know how many people care to listen to this, but he shot it all for $600, which I was like, awesome.
And done in 2 days. I mean,
done in 2 days. I was ecstatic. So finding a good painter is hard, but finding somebody that's cheap and fast is also hard as well.
But the quality was important too. So you were happy to find you weren't getting a
I was ecstatic how everything looked. So anyways, pick that up. So Friday night, it was a matter of getting everything laid out, right? I wanted to start getting things ready. So then I washed the CRZ on Friday night as well, gave it a quick foam bath, got everything prepped. Car looks okay, just I haven't polished it yet, so I'm really excited to get that done. And then Saturday was me watching Lucy for 7 hours, right? Katie left in the morning. I watched her through the entire day. I'm feeding her all sorts of different foods. She loves food. I'm talking like my love for food has transcended.
Excellent.
Has transcended.
It's been infused into her.
Not transcended. Transcended would be going up. It would be descended to her. But she...
along.
Dude, everything I eat, she wants a bite of, right? I was eating a protein bar. I'm like, you don't want to take a bite of this, right? And she's not really eating it. She's just kind of chewing on it. She tried a Quest bar and her like eyes lit up and she like looks at me and I'm just like, you like a protein bar? You weirdo, right? I'm like, all right, cool. This is awesome.
She's your kid, all right.
And so I just have a lot of fun, feeding her different foods and we're playing a lot. She's rolling over pretty consistently now. Not crawling yet, but she's rolling over quite a bit. But Saturday, I like to take home videos when I'm with her alone. So I've been kind of compiling all these home videos of just kind of us hanging out. What I try to do is get enough video footage of just her existing. Right. Because I want to look back. I don't want to always see active stuff, and I just want like the camera on her to remember what she looked like at that age, right? Mm-hmm. Play with her hands, play with her feet, put my hand on her head to show how big she's growing, and things like that. So spent the day doing that, and then Saturday night we went to Coins for my dad's 60th birthday, and went down to Cycle Gear, got him some motorcycle stuff, right?
Nice.
White wall tire cleaner, right? Because he's got white walls on his. He's got a Kawasaki Vulcan 800 that he actually takes pretty good care of. I taught him how to do an O&R wash and all that stuff, and every once in a while he'll get out there and do some serious detailing. And so I got him some white wall cleaner, but I picked him up some other stuff, some skull cap things, things that he can use and wear. But what was funny is I was checking out. I'm like, dang it, I want to spend like an extra $50, either on a gift card or something. I just can't find what to get them, right?
Yeah.
I walk up to the counter, and what do I see on the counter? Dixon Flannel.
Oh!
Dixon Flannel Cycle Gear collab.
Nice.
Didn't even know that was a thing. Nice. And I said, "Is that a real Dixon?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We just, we got these in a couple months ago." He's like, "It took like 2 years for them to get to us, but they're really cool, right? Blue snaps, gray with blue stripes into it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is good looking, right?" And he's like, "They're $10 off, $39." So I said, "Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow. Throw it in." And my dad loves Dixon flannels, so got him a Cycle Gear Dixon flannel. He can look like a true employee over at Cycle Gear. But did that. Went to Coins, had a great night. Ate some really good food. Then went to my parents' house. They just got their house painted, and so we went and checked that out and kind of walked around. And Lucy loves their backyard because they have a bunch of geese and ducks and babies and all sorts of stuff on their canal bank that they have. So hung out there, and then Sunday was the big day for me. Mm-hmm. Installing the body kit, installing the Mugen kit on the car. So for this, I had none other than JW Media.
Ooh.
Our own JDM specialist.
Our own JDM specialist, Jimmy Wilkie, right? Our cinematographer, right? Yeah. To come out and help me with this install. So he came over in the morning and we started kind of mapping out how we were going to do this thing because we knew we were going to be breaking a lot of pop clips, taking a lot of old stuff off. Yeah. Figuring out how to put new stuff on,
right? And
double-sided tape, all the fun stuff, right? And the paint was still relatively fresh, so I didn't want to be too rough on it. The clear had been hardened, but if you were to put your fingernail into it, you could probably still indent it. It was still soft enough to indent, so we had to be careful. So we spent the first kind of couple hours of the morning trying to figure it out. Jason stopped by in the Blue Evo, wanted to hang out and see how things were going. And hung out with him for a little bit. Then after that, me and Jimmy walked down to my my local coffee shop, got ourselves some smoothies.
You didn't take the bikes? Should have hopped on the.
I didn't pump up the tires on the cruisers on the other ones. I think there's still spiders on them.
Coming soon anyway.
And so we went down there, got some breakfast burritos, and then came back and. He brought the 240, his really nice 240. Brought that over. Leaked a little bit of oil in my driveway, but that's okay.
He parked it in the driveway. He knew it was leaking.
Yeah.
Parked it in your driveway.
But I forgive him. I just sprayed a little brake cleaner and cleaned it up. Okay. It's fine. But we continued kind of working on the kit. It's funny because that could have very well been a 2-day project because of, again, it's more of like getting the pop clips in, lining up the double-sided tape, and then on all of the parts, I used gasket material. It basically connects the lip to maybe a bumper, right? It makes it look, it's a seam
it fills
to make it feel more OEM. So we had to add all that, and that was kind of meticulous. And then on top of that, it was kind of making, filming everything for hype videos and stuff. It adds a lot of time to it. But by that time, Katie had gotten home.
Look at the pictures.
Oh yeah, there's the. So that's the rear. That's the rear there. I sent Nick some other photos. I don't know if they end up popping up. But that's the rear there in the garage. So diffuser piece, third brake light, side skirts, front lip. I mean, the damn car, dude, it looks good.
It looks really good.
It looks super solid, but like I keep telling you, man, it's screaming for wheels and tires now.
Oh yeah, some nice Koenig wheels, Scott, if you're listening.
Not poke, but just like flush.
Well, if it was lowered about an inch on some wider Meteor tires, I think a Meteor tire would look good on that setup. I think it would look awesome. So we'll see down the road. I'm glad it just finally looks good. I'm happy to drive it now. I'm not embarrassed. I get inside there and I go, this is a pretty cool car.
Yeah.
But we got everything done, and right as we're finishing up, an apocalyptic storm came through. Right, we're out there. My motorcycle outside, Jimmy's car is out there. We have all the garage, everything's open. Wind starts picking up, and a couple sprinkles come down. And I look over at Jimmy and I go, I think it's going to start storming. Right out of the corner of our eye, giant lightning strike, and I'm like, so here's the deal, Jimmy. I'm not gonna lie. If I was you, I would say, peace, Anthony. I'm out of here. Just take off. I'm like, if it was me in the Evo, I would have been gone an hour ago. Yeah. And he's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, no, seriously.
We've had hail recently, and that car would not enjoy hail.
I'm like, I think you should go. So he ended up booking it, taking off, and that was, so we
had... Joke's on him. The storm was coming from the west, so he drove right into it.
Straight into it.
No, that thing went straight over my house and hammered.
No, we had a fun time, though. It was a good day. Like I said, we got that done. I'm super happy. Thanks to Jimmy for helping me out because it was definitely a two-man job. Then after that, to end the evening, went over to my neighbor's house. They were just kind of having a little kickback. We showed up a little bit late because I was finishing some things up, and I went over there and they showed me Maverick, who's my neighbor, little boy. He showed me all of his toys, Legos, Hot Wheels, his Hot Wheels track and everything. Ooh, yeah. And then his dad's really into building Legos as well. And I know that Kyle, who Dane actually went to high school with, I knew that we're all kind of nerds on that street, right? He was like, do you want to see my Lego collection? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm expecting to see like a couple Legos, right? Yeah. I go upstairs, right? He's got the Millennium Falcon, the giant, the huge, 3,000 pieces, 7,000 pieces.
It's like 2/3 the size of this table.
Dude, the full thing built like under a glass display on a table. Man. He has his X-Wing. He has all the different all the stuff. And he's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I said, well, what's this corner over here? He's like, oh, this is where I paint all my Warhammer figurines. And I'm like, wait, you paint? I'm like, you paint figurines
That's
too?
That's real deal right there.
And he's just like,
that's true blue nerd right there.
Dude, I'm talking like really detailed, good looking, like the figurines.
That's where you get the magnifying glass and you sit at the table with a tiny little brush and you just,
wow.
And so, and then he's like, you can come check out the downstairs. So I go downstairs and he's got the, not the Death Star. It's the what's the giant pointed Star Wars?
Star Destroyer.
The Destroyer. So he has the big Destroyer down there, and he's got all of his other. He's got the Lego Technics cars and stuff. And I was telling him about how Glenn, our sweet angel here at the Rad Company, surprised us with bringing in some really cool cars, but then surprised me with bringing in not only the Ducati Panigale Technics, but bringing in the BMW HP4, the M1000 R, which I like lost my mind. And he was like, wait, you have the M1000 R at work? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, do you want to see some pictures of it? Showed him pictures. He's like, that is so cool. I'm like, dude, it really is. It's awesome. So it was pretty cool. And that was my weekend, man. It was a pretty, like I said, chill weekend. Great. I had birds, I had body kits, and I had
bikes.
There you go. 3 Bs.
Yeah.
Well, Dane, how do you want to do this?
I mean, we're kind of conjoined here, at least for like Friday, Saturday. So, I mean, we'll just kind of tag team this. All right?
Well, I'm going to start it off just on my end. So I did have a car this weekend. Just, again, one of my, it's the same lady that I did last weekend. I did have a cancellation by the customer who cancels about 6 times before they actually get their car scheduled. They get their car detailed. So I was glad I had scheduled the other car to do it. So I had that to work on this weekend, so that wasn't too bad. Augie and I have been working on a project. He's got a car show tomorrow at school. So this is the car he's going to be showing off.
Oh, that is sweet.
So we've been working on this cardboard car, and this is what I've been building for him. And basically, I got a cardboard box, painted it, and I've been drawing and painting it to look like a Volkswagen bus. And so what he's going to do tomorrow is we're going to drop that off. He's going to park it outside at school.
Yeah.
All the second graders.
Stanced. Hard parked.
Them, and I set it up so the wheels kind of kick in a little bit.
Yeah.
The paper plate wheels. And he's going to hard park them. He's going to walk around, show off to all his friends. So I'm going to be late tomorrow. But then they're going to say, start your engines. All the second graders are going to get inside their box cars. They're going to go on a cruise around the school.
That's pretty cool.
Checking out, showing off all the other classes, checking out, look at our cars. Then they're going to finish the cruise tomorrow in the cafeteria. Yeah. When they pull into the cafeteria, they're going to find their parking spots. They're going to sit down, park their cars, sit inside their cars, watch a movie, and get some snacks.
That sounds like why didn't I get to do that in
school,
isn't that a
great thing? So
that sounds awesome.
We've been working on this for the last month. This has been my evening projects. I've been using my freezer as my workbench to work on this box. So I'm using Gorilla Glue that I've got on those for the wheels on those paper plates. So those wheels ain't coming off. And then it's all held together with Gorilla Glue crystal tape.
Wow.
So very strong tape to be able to handle the rigors of a 8-year-old wandering around in a cardboard box.
I really like what you did with the overall the design there. I mean, that looks like that bus.
So built him a little bus.
You should do like a carpet liner on the inside.
Yeah, I know I should have.
Shag carpet on the inside.
You see little Rag Company stickers I put on the windows for him?
Yeah. How dope is that?
He was very excited about that. And of course, we had to put the lucky one on the back because that's his favorite one. Yeah. You know, Og's all about. He's a soldier of fortune. But yeah, so pretty stoked. So did that. Then Dane, you guys all recall, had been talking about getting a cat.
Yeah, I mentioned a podcast or two ago, just in passing.
Right. So we have a cat. We have 2 cats. I have a big cat named Sherlock, and then who's about 25 pounds and looks like a raccoon.
He's big boy.
I think he's half raccoon. And then I have a second cat named Sassafras. We call Sassy. She's a Russian blue polydactyl, or a Hemingway Russian blue, as they're known. So
what's the distinction?
They're polydactyl.
Oh, the polydactyl.
And so most polydactyls are called Hemingways because Ernest Hemingway really loved polydactyls and created an area where he lived where they were all polydactyls, and they would mate and create more polydactyls. So then they just started calling a polydactyl cat a Hemingway. So Hemingway Russian Blue, beautiful cat. Sassafras, such a sweetheart. Problem was Sherlock and her did not get along. Yeah. We've had her for a little over a year and just thought, maybe they'll get used to each other. They don't. Sherlock is a bully. He's a big, big cat. And he terrorized this smaller, sweeter little cat.
Just ruining her life,
Ruining her life. And so Carly and I have been talking about, God, we need to find her a place to live. We need to see where we can put her. We tried my mom. My mom loved her, loved having her, but my mom's like, I just don't want a cat.
Yeah.
And
sure your mom literally lives your mom's backyard is literally something out of a
right.
It's so
a fantasy movie. Like it is something I've never seen before in my life.
Yeah. Perfect place. But my mom said, I just don't want a cat. I said, all right, whatever.
Okay.
So we've been just kind of keeping our ears peeled, but we haven't wanted to get rid of her. She's an outdoor cat, so she's pretty much gone during the day, comes in at night. Sherlock goes to sleep with Augie. Sassy then now has full reign of the house.
Yeah.
And so she's either sleeping on our bed under a blanket or she's outside. That's kind of
she's got like trauma, PTSD.
Yeah, so
like she's afraid
she hides all day.
At certain times.
She hides all day from Sherlock, and then at night when Sherlock goes to bed with August and we shut the door, then she comes out and she runs around the house and she cuddles and she purrs and she does all this stuff. So when I heard Dane talking about wanting a cat, I approached him and said, "Would you like one of my cats?"
Mm-hmm. I was surprised. I didn't see that coming. I didn't even realize you were considering not having one.
And it's something I've been considering for about 6 months, but it's been not pressing for us. Yeah. We just thought we'll find the right people that want to take her. And so I thought, and I put it in Carly's ear. Dane's looking at it. Carly and I started thinking, we're like, Dane and Liz, Callie. That's a pretty good little spot.
She's got a big dog, but she's super chill.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not talking any cats.
So Dane came over to my house.
Yeah, Friday afternoon, evening.
Yeah.
And, on my way over, I was kind of thinking like, okay, I'm going to be heading over there. I need to get some kind of cat carrier because I'm not going to have a loose cat in the car. That's just a bad idea.
It's not
so
fun.
I asked her, I was like, do you have a cat carrier or do I need to get one? And you're like, well, I'm going to go look. And then
I couldn't find it.
You proceeded to look around, but didn't seem to be having luck. So I found this place up on Vista called Bark and Purr that was kind of a ritzy kind of like little pet place for pet products.
The place to sell phytofiber.
Yeah. It definitely looked like the kind of place that would sell something high end.
What's it called?
Phytofiber. Bark and Purr.
Oh.
Everything there is like it's the kind of place that you would find gluten-free vegan cat food and things like that. Like you just kind of roll your eyes a little bit at some of the things you see, and the prices are there to match. So I got this cat carrier. It cost me like $80.
I'm sure it did.
I think I could have gone to Walmart and gotten one that does the same thing for $20.
There's a PetSmart right down the street from you.
But the problem was I was already over on the side of town, so I was like, okay, I'm heading to Levi's house. This is the place I got between me and his house that I could check out because I was just typing in pet supplies. I thought Albertsons would have some basic stuff, but they didn't have cat carriers, so I'm like, I need a way to carry this cat. So I have it now. It's a great little carrier.
It's a great carrier.
And I'm never buying another one for as long as I live, but this one will do the trick.
Yeah.
So anyway, got that, headed over, and met up in your driveway. I was happy to see the second I rolled up, the kids were outside. Watson was outside. Sherlock was coming out of the garage to check out what's going on. Like, everybody was
popping.
Yeah. It was popping. It was very picturesque. And the neighbor kids were, like, coming over to play also. So it was definitely a happening spot. Levi's house is definitely where all the action is.
Well, that's where the freezer is, where all the ice cream sandwiches.
That too, because right after Dane left, they were like, "Can we have ice cream?" Like, oh, come on.
So Levi kind of set the scene.
So Carly grabbed. I had gotten a couple bags of food, little Ziploc bags of food, to get Dane through the weekend. Because the game plan was take her home for the weekend, see if she's something you guys wanted to play with or have or use or enjoy, and we'll see how it works out. And if you don't like her, bring her home. Totally fine. No big deal.
It's a trial run just to see if it's a good fit. And I had Callie in the van with me too. So Callie got to see your house and meet Watson.
Yeah, Watson was hilarious.
Watson
was walking around growling at Callie the whole time, and he would like turn his head and
but he
give her
wouldn't do
stink
anything.
eye.
He'd just kind of look.
Yeah, he'd just walk around, haunches all up, just growling at her.
She could care less.
Yeah, she didn't care. But yeah, we got him. Got Sassy. Carly brought Sassy out. We put her in the carrier. Sent Dane on his way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rest of the night, we're kind of hanging out. For those wondering, I've got the Jarl's Hangout all finished.
Yeah, I checked it out in person.
Dane got to check it out. I got a little video here that I sent to Glenn. We'll see if she pops it up at some point.
Oh,
already ready, finished. Looking sharp. Got the fire pit done. Hanging out.
Grass, too, hanging out there.
Yeah, being able to just enjoy the ambiance. Roast some marshmallows.
Have you thought about getting one of those horns that you can blow into? It's like
a yeller horn.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thought about that.
You could call the kids in.
I would love
to the hangout.
Honestly, I would love
that. It's like
that.
the dinner bell, but it's a horn.
Yeah. No,
I would also think it'd be great if you could build a grate system above that where you could cook meats out on that.
Thought about that. I don't know if I want to cook meat that right there. We tried. Yeah. We did some hot dogs.
Yeah.
The night before.
Got messy.
Yeah. It's hard. My kids just don't know how to do it right. So
you could. That's why you need to get yourself a whole pig and show them how to do a proper roast, right? Because the thing is, you have to think about what the Viking ancestors would have done, right? Would be to get a pig with the apple in the mouth, right? Skewer it and
put it on a spit,
throw it on a spit, and then turn it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a job I could give for Augie.
Oh my gosh, we have the master himself back.
Davis! Welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
Bark in per setting. Yeah.
I fear
Dane headed back to the house. Carly and I just put the kids to bed and did all that.
Quite going.
And then, Dane, tell me about your adventure back home.
So basically, the whole drive home, Carly warned me. She said that now when you start driving, she's going to be yowling a bit, but that's just normal. That's what she's going to do when she's in the car. It's like, all right. So, she did her yowling on the way, but she kind of mellowed out for a while. And then we kind of start again as we got like a little closer or slowed down for a stoplight or something. She'd think we were somewhere. Didn't really happen until we got to the house where she finally totally chilled out. And I'm like, okay. But she was in the car with Callie, but she couldn't see Callie because the carrier was like in the front seat. Callie was in the back. Pulled up to my house. And at this point, strategic thinking, there's no way I'm letting this cat get out, in this area because totally unfamiliar, and I wouldn't want her to like panic and try to run home and like run across a busy road, that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, pull into the garage. It's not a big garage, but pull into the garage, close the door before I open any doors in the car, anything like that. Compartmentalize, handle everything. Get her into the foyer on the bottom, just the entryway inside the garage into the house. And I have my office there on the first level, which I'm like, okay, that's a good spot to like let her be for a little bit.
A lot of good hiding spots.
Yeah. So I haven't like assembled my office yet. So there's a lot of things like a TV covered in a blanket leaning against the wall, which creates like a little tent she could hide in. Gave her that opportunity. Let her go there for about half an hour or so. And I left the door cracked because I wanted to watch. But then I had to go get something out of the car. And then when I came back, I couldn't find her. And I'm like, okay, she's probably hiding. And then I realized, she kind of migrated over to the couch in the kind of entertainment room, which is just over from the entryway there.
Right next to where the massage chair is.
Yes, where the infamous massage chair is.
She probably was attracted to the smells.
Well, she basically went under the couch, and I thought, okay, this is where she's going to camp out because it's like a place she can hide. It's good for her. She was a little leery about Callie because Callie's this great big fuzzy thing, and she's like, I don't know what you are necessarily because Watson is not that size. So
well, he's the same size as Callie, he's just shorter.
Right? Yeah, their bodies might be the same. Just the amount of fur kind of changes it up a little. But just realizing, maybe give it a little time. Put her food and water behind the couch where Callie can't get to him, and just kind of set up a station there. So I said, okay, I'm going to order some pizza. I'll go get it, and I'll come back, and then we'll just follow up from there. And, Liz was upstairs basically doing her raid thing, and then she was going to come down and hang out with the pets after that. So when that wrapped up, she came down, and she asked me, I just got back from getting the pizza, came in, and she's like, so where's the cat at? And I was like, oh, she's right under this couch. Here, help me move it. So we kind of tilted the couch forward to kind of look underneath because I had seen her under there before. She wasn't there. And that's when I got really worried. This was like 8:30, 9 at night or so. And I was a little concerned because I'm like, oh no. But I had the dog door blocked up, so I'm like, there's no way.
Couldn't have
gotten out. The only thing I could think is like, if she somehow just slipped right by me into the garage, and then the garage door opened and she got out that way, I was like, oh God, I hope
she's a little bolt of lightning.
So at this point, were you a little stressed that you couldn't find this cat?
We were real stressed
because you just lost Levi's family cat that he just
barely
gave
had
you.
this cat for like an hour and a half, 2 hours at most, and as I was leaving their house, like everybody was sad to see her go.
Carly was having a hard time crying.
The kids are like, hold on, I just want to hug her one last time. And I'm like, oh, this is really sweet. Little did I realize what an emotional gut punch that would be when I got home and couldn't find the cat. I'm thinking, oh my God, I have royally effed this up. Yeah. This is not good. This is, number one, you feel terrible because you're like, oh no, did the cat go down to the road? You feel awful about that.
Yeah.
Secondly, you're like, I'm never going to be trusted with anything ever again. This is horrible.
Yeah, when Levi gives you a cat, right, he is giving you a piece of him, right? Yeah. Because the thing is, it's just like your father passing down Ragnarok, the Suburban to Levi, and him entrusting Levi with it. And at this point, the truck, minus a couple fender benders, still exists, right? It's still here.
Runs, still looks good.
Still runs, still looks good. No leaks or anything like that. But the fact that Levi passed down a cat to you, a living animal, and you lost it in literally an hour.
Terrified I had lost this thing, and she had gone outside, and I was never going to see her again because she didn't have a collar when you gave her to us. There was no collar, nothing.
Because she doesn't need it because it's Levi's cat.
But at your house, she was an indoor outdoor cat. Like, but you had her outdoors at your house, so I knew she was capable outdoors. I was just concerned because she had no idea where she was.
Right.
Like, didn't have any time to get used to it. It was just like, you're here now, and I thought I was going to have time to work on that, but nope.
So I texted Dane about 10:30 and just said, hey, how's it going?
Just left like a novelization.
You didn't know. You didn't know.
It feels so horrible.
How's everything going?
Yeah. Dane says, well, I feel really bad. We both lost the cat, and I don't know where she is, and I feel really bad, and I'm sorry, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know if she got out, but I went to get a pizza, and he explained the whole process to me, and I said, Dane, she's a cat. She's 9 by 9. She's tiny. She just needs us. She hides really well.
I wanted to reassure myself that she's probably hidden somewhere, but I had not.
She hides really well.
I did not see her anywhere, and that was enough for me to go.
So before you came over to get her, I blocked off our dog door so she couldn't get out, and I was getting the stuff together, and I said, "Hey, Sass, what are you doing?" And she standing on the bed looking at me, and I turned my back for a split second. And I said, Sassy, where'd you go? And I looked under her. She wasn't on the bed. She wasn't in any of the cubbies. I looked under the bed, couldn't find her. And I was like, oh, crap. I lost Sassy in the house before Dane's on his way to get her. And then I turn around again, and she's standing in front of me looking at me. And I'm like,
what? Where'd you?
How in the heck? So I got it. Like when you said, I don't know if she got out. I don't know if she. And I was like, dude, I know exactly how you handle it.
And I had no prior knowledge of like her talents as an escape artist or any of that stuff.
Good at
like
disappearing.
I just knew she seems like a sweet cat. You said she's chill,
super chill,
should be all right, and she is all those things. But oh man, was I just worried? Like, of course. I'm normally so good at this stuff, and I had to screw it up right now. Yeah. Of all times, this is it.
So I just reminded him that she was a good hider.
Yeah. Progress through the night. Liz and I feel absolutely horrible. We went to bed feeling basically depressed.
Still not being able to find her.
Oh no, she was on the verge of crying because she felt so bad. Like she thought we just royally.
Now, when you tore apart your house, did you just kind of look behind some things and think?
Oh no, I had us pick up each and every piece of furniture that could be a thing she could hide behind.
Yeah,
we systematically opened anything and everything. So like all the closet doors were open. So like maybe in the middle of the night she'll come out, maybe something. But I think she was still scared of Callie because Callie had.
You guys were calling for her, right?
But we didn't know the special call that
No, just say you call her name.
But sometimes there's a particular way of doing it that works on a pet where if you just say
Dane,
sassy, like that doesn't work. You have to say it right.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I was going to call Callie, right, your dog, I wouldn't say Callie. I would say, Callie, where you at,
but there's usually
Callie?
there's a cadence, there's a rhythm, there's a melody to it. There's something that the animal responds to more than the actual phonetics.
Being Norwegian, Dane, it's in your roots to be able to speak to animals, right? So, for example, I've seen Levi. I've seen Levi literally call upon a raven out of nowhere, and he knew its name. It was the craziest thing. It was some type of I
always say hi to them. I always when they're flying by, I go.
It's not uncommon to see wolves and things like that flock to Levi.
I'm just gonna blaze through this because this is basically the part where we feel awful. We go to bed that night feeling horrible. We wake up the next morning feeling awful. Literally, we're looking at each other and we're just.
Did you try to get breakfast in the morning?
No, we were just.
Oh, you didn't even eat.
No, we were just cereal. They had a bowl of cereal.
And I had a bowl of cereal there. That was about it. But
not a delicious breakfast that you wanted, like a Saturday morning breakfast.
Yeah, when he says breakfast, it's usually I go out to a little
right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
No, we were way too distracted by how sad we were because we were convinced that she had gotten out and was gone forever, and there was no way to ever track her down or anything. And when you said, "Do you want me to come over?"
Because I asked him the next morning, "How's it going?" He's like, I'm at my wit's end. I really don't know what to do. I think she's gone.
So bad. And so
I said, when you want me to come over and help me look?
I said, absolutely. You probably have the magic call, the magic touch, whatever the treat her favorite thing is. I didn't necessarily know all that stuff, but this is what blew my mind. When you guys got to the house.
So I grabbed Dog and I said, we got to go find us a cat.
Yeah, you brought Dog with you.
And he goes, where are we going? I said, Dane's house. He's like, oh, where Sassy is? What happened? I go, she's lost. And he goes, how do you lose a cat? And I said, I don't know, bud. We're going to find out.
Cats
and
are mysterious creatures.
He goes, well, we better get her treats. And I said, that sounds good. So we stop at Albertsons, grab some Temptations.
Ooh, Temptations get them every single
cat
time.
Treats. Well, and then I pull up. When I got there, we walk in, and Dane's like, yeah, I don't know where we're going to. I go, don't worry, Dane, we're going to pull an eagly. Got to crinkle a bag.
Yeah.
She'll come a-running. Yeah. So he takes me downstairs, walks us down there, shows us, this is where I put her. This is where we were at.
This is where I last saw her.
Last saw her was over here.
Couch.
And I go, all right. So we start kind of looking. Augie's climbing through, goes into the little cubby hole that Dane has under his stairs.
You looked around for about 15 to 20 minutes.
We weren't even there. I think we were there total maybe 15 minutes before we even said anything.
Yeah.
We looked within your office, and I was like, all right, I'm looking in your living room. And I go, well, all right, Aug, let's get this started. And I go, Sassy. Mm-hmm. And Dane goes, oh, crap, I hear her.
Well, hold on. So that's true.
It's literally what happened.
But I would say there was a delay between when I actually heard a little, in the background.
Right.
You had to say it a couple of times.
I had to say it a couple more times.
And you were in a totally different room.
I was in your office.
Yes, and I was thinking, okay, she might have been here, but
you were in the living or in the.
I was in the entryway, and I was just listening. Really
I couldn't
intently.
hear,
and I until that moment, she had not made a peep. The previous anything, she was hiding. So
then she started meowing,
and then I heard a but it was faint. It was very faint, but I could tell it was probably coming from
help meow.
Probably coming from the living room entertainment area, and I'm like. This is why I wanted you to come over, because she hears a familiar voice. She hears the treats, that kind of stuff. That's going to help build trust again. That's going to get her, back out. So that needed to happen, really. So when we figured out that, said, she's near the couch.
Sassy!
She made the sound, but she did not come out.
She did not
move.
Out, no.
She did not come out. So
we go, holy crap, she's coming from the couch.
Yeah. So we're looking, and we're like, all I could think was, I've checked the couch. I've looked underneath, and Augie was ready to set the motorized foot sweep up, and I was like, well, hold on, because she was crawling through that yesterday. That thing will just if you're not careful. I tap it very carefully to okay, look underneath. No, nobody there. And there's that middle part where it's all kind of blocked off, so you can't really see.
Yeah. But
we said, okay, we're going to tilt the couch over one more time.
We tilt the couch over.
So we do.
And I go, Sassy. And she goes, meows. And all of a sudden, I go, what's this? And there's a bulge on the back of the seat.
The back of the couch.
And on the back.
High up, near the headrest on the back side.
Yeah, like shoulders.
So an angle like this, and she's the bulge under the back
and
side.
I go, what is this?
Spider-Man
and I lift it up, and she pops her head out. She's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And I pull her out, and Dane's like, oh my gosh, I did not never thought, and I was like, dude, I didn't even know this was a compartment in your couch.
I didn't know it was hollow there.
She found a spot, but that's the kind of cat. She found a spot.
Yeah.
Pulled her out. She starts purring. Augie grabs her.
Yeah.
Shows her some treats. We pass her off to Liz. Liz takes her upstairs, puts her up in the spot, and so. It was funny because we both were like, holy crap, that was amazing. Yeah. But the fact that she was quiet that whole night, didn't meow, silent. Is crazy.
And I stayed up listening just to see if I could hear rustling, something. I stayed, 1:30, 2 in the morning, and then I eventually said, okay, I got to get some sleep. So went to bed depressed, woke up feeling horrible and sad because I hadn't seen any signs. And I thought, we really...
So I called Carly, said, hey, we found her. She was in the couch. Yeah. And Carly goes, well, what does Dane want to do? And I said, I'm assuming he wants to keep this party going.
Yep.
And we'll see how we do. And she's like, all right. Well, I'm glad she's okay. So Dane had just finished the upstairs. They had just finished all the renovations.
Just finished, yeah.
So you guys were in the process of moving all your stuff back up into your master bedroom.
Right. So we finally set up a real bedroom up there, which meant the bedroom we were in, which is like a guest bedroom on the second floor, could finally be repurposed for guest bedroom duty. Mm-hmm. And right now, our guest is the cat. So the cat gets the guest bedroom, and we put all of her things in there. And that's kind of her domain right now. So she's only coming out. No, we go in and hang out with her for a couple hours at a time.
There's a bed in there.
There's a bed in there. There's
chill out on your phone.
The window has a perch. She can look out and see everything going on in the backyard. It's a really good spot to park her until she gets comfortable enough to go out in the rest of the house. Because she's still scared of Callie, so we got to work on that bit. But that's the big thing to overcome right now. But I'm just warming them up to it. So last night I basically had it where I put a big cardboard box in the doorway with just a spot big enough for her to get through back and forth, just to see if she wanted to come out. And Callie was just sitting outside the door going, "Whoa, what's going on? Everybody gonna come out? I noticed you guys have been going in there and not talking to me. What's up?"
Yeah.
So just kind of building up that point where they might.
Make contact.
See each other. And they have, but, Sassy is still a little spooked. She got all fuzzy and was like, I don't know about this. So we're working up to it, but we're really taking our time.
Like I said, she's a chill cat.
Yeah.
She just didn't get along with my cat. She got along just fine with Watson, the dog. Mm-hmm. He used to have to break up fights between the two cats, and so
he was the bouncer.
Yeah, that's literally what he was. So good luck. I hope you guys have fun with her and enjoy her. And
so this week it's going to be getting her into the rest of the house, and then maybe taking her outside next week or something.
Get a leash.
They got a leash.
We got a little harness for her lead.
So she can go hop on the patio.
I thought I would never be that person, but in this case, I'm not taking any chances, man.
Honestly, you could put her out on the patio.
Yeah.
And that way she could get the air and see and
I just wanted to know, this is your domain. You're safe here. You can do whatever you want. If you go beyond those fences, there are White Walkers and coyotes and various things that you don't want to meet.
The wall of the north, it's there.
Yeah, that's right. So stay behind the wall if you want to, have a happy, uneventful life.
Crazy.
But we've gone on for a while here, but that was basically the gist of it. So in a sense, did you do anything else this weekend?
Not really. No, just working, getting Augie's thing done tonight. We're gonna. I got to paint the other two wheels.
You sure you don't want to throw some underglow, some LED lights on there?
That's pretty dope. You could put strip lighting on it.
I have
a little USB power bank. You could Velcro to the inside.
I have that. And I could do that tonight.
It would go so hard. It would be like
awesome.
Because then he goes
we have everything, and I could show him how to do it, and he would love it.
Yeah.
Because I have that. I have one more strip of thing that I could do that with.
Drop that thing down, and people would be like, "Oh my, is that you have underglow?" They don't know the word. They say, "What is that? Lights on yours?" Yep, I have LED lighting.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I also have diabetes.
And a shag carpet insert that my dad cut from an old rug. Right.
Why didn't we have a cool car show like that?
Dude,
isn't that great?
When we were in school. That is such a cool idea.
Well, the thing is though, I did the Pinewood Derby and stuff like that. I did that kind of stuff. I built a Pontiac Firebird, right? I didn't know. I thought that was a cool car back in the day.
It is a cool car,
right? Yeah. Glossed it out, glossed black paint, right? Firebird right on the hood.
Because that was a big part of it. Was you first you cut it, you sand it, and then you paint it and do all this stuff. Yeah. It's fun, man.
Oh, it really is a blast. But knowing the
put
car,
the graphite on the axle.
Knowing how cars look now, I could make something just so much cooler. Like, if Lucy ever does something like that, she'd be like, "Oh, I want a Barbie car." I said, "No, you're getting an Evo." Yeah. And she's like, "I don't want this." I'm like, "All the kids will think this is the coolest thing."
S2000.
Yeah,
but Dad, that's what you want, not what I want.
I know this is what I want, and you will like this.
Og wanted me to build him a tank.
Oh, yeah. Geez.
And I said, "It's a car show, not a tank show."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Well, how about I want like," and he was like coming up with ideas, and I was like, "I'm making you a bus."
When he went from the tank to like the '60s symbol of love and peace on wheels with the bus, it's like that's quite a leap there, bud.
Yeah, no, Carly's.
I realize the origins of the bus, but still,
Carly's gonna take him. They're gonna go. She's like, Carly wants to get him like an outfit to wear for it. And so she's going to take him to Zurcher's and go look for a 60s flower child outfit. I was like, he doesn't even need that. He could just dress normal and drive it. Like, he doesn't need to be in a costume.
He doesn't need to look like he's in the Doobie Brothers.
It'll be fine. I'll enjoy it.
That would be pretty funny, too.
Oh, man, that would be hilarious.
Have a couple stickers on the back, legalize it or something on the back. Teacher's like, "Hey, this is inappropriate." You're like, "Hey,
Yeah, it's all right. My wife works
pretty
at the
aggro
school.
for a guy in a VW bus.
Yeah, so I'll take some pictures for tomorrow when I go in the morning so I can show you guys some of the other kids' creations. So Thursday Q&A, we can play it
that'd be
folks
great.
so they can see.
Cool.
But,
right on. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. We've gone, I think we're a little over it now.
Yeah, but I think we covered some interesting topics today. We had some fun. And that's kind of the point of this podcast is it could go anywhere. Rarely does it just touch on detailing. So
Rarely does it touch on detailing, but
barely touches on detailing as
Q&A
it
Thursdays.
But that's our excuse to keep it going. So
that's right.
Anyway, if you got questions that you asked here that we didn't answer, don't feel bad. That's what Q&A Thursdays are for. Yeah. So if you're not sure what that is, over on the Rag Company main channel on YouTube, that's where you see we do our Q&A Thursdays. We do a lot of other stuff. But Q&A Thursdays obviously happen on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this week we have guest.
Yeah, we got Jack Kavanaugh, Stjarnaglas. Going to be live on the Q&A. And don't forget, May 30th, come see us at the Rag Company headquarters in Hengelo, Netherlands.
Yeah.
For Rag Company
we're
EU.
going on a trip to the UK and Europe. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. And hopefully, if you're overseas there, we get a chance to meet you. You get a chance to meet us.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun. Otherwise, click like on this video so it gets in front of more people. And if you're listening sometime in the future, head over to YouTube and subscribe to us. We appreciate that too. All right, guys, have a great week. We'll catch up with you on Q&A Thursday over on the main channel later. Take care.
See ya.